You're listening to another episode of Badass Mums.
I'm Tneek, a female rapper and bid professional.
I'm Shahlaa Tahira, presenter and content creator.
And I'm Cilla, singer-songwriter and all-round creative.
Together, we are Badass Mums.
Welcome to another episode of Badass Mums. This is season 3, and today we have a very special guest. Her name is Sairah Pinnock. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming.
How you been?
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. This is exciting.
It's great. So, we've done some research, obviously. We know who you are.
But for the listeners, how many children have you got?
2.
Okay.
Yes. 2 boys. Yeah.
How old are they?
11 and 19 months. Yeah.
Wow.
So quite a big gap.
Yeah.
And you've got a couple businesses that you co-founded.
Yeah. So a events company which I co-founded with my best friend. That's called Inclusive Industry. And then I co-founded a charity with my sister Leigh-Anne called the Black Fund. So yeah.
Nice.
And of course, you also manage Leigh-Anne, who's from
Yeah.
as well.
Littlemix.
Yeah.
You're her sister and her manager.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I can't work with
Interesting.
family. I don't know how you do that. The politics, when I want to tell you about yourself, but then I have to see you at dinner. Like,
Oh, honestly, it's a lot.
yeah.
The nicest way to put it.
Yeah. But at the same time, I wouldn't want to do anything else now.
Yeah.
Like now I'm managing her. It's like I almost forgot what my life was before. Because it just becomes like your life. It's not like a normal 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
It's like constant. And also it's constant because I'm a sister as well as manager. So it's like things that are a manager's role, they kind of can shut off certain things. Whereas because I'm a sister, it's like everything's just so much more intense.
It probably means so much more to you.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Almost sometimes I always have to be like, okay, just take a step back.
Yeah.
Like you remember you've got your own family and things that you have to look after also. So it's like trying to balance how do you do a job that's constantly looking after someone plus being a mum when you're constantly looking after children.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So is it like having 3 children to some extent?
Yeah. And then obviously because Leigh-Anne's got little ones as well. So then it's like everything we do work-wise has to encompass all the kids.
Yeah.
Right.
So
How did that transition happen? Because originally you wasn't managing her, but then you know.
So when she was, whilst they were still in, while Littlemix was still, working together and everything, they had their own manager. And that manager obviously saw them through the whole 11 years. And then when they had discussions about all doing their solo stuff, Leigh-Anne always said, I want you to manage me. But we just didn't really know when that time would be. And then it kind of just happened overnight. Like, even before they officially took their break, I was managing her for about a year. Okay. But because she was still doing Littlemix stuff, it was very, it wasn't intense. I was still working at my full-time job at the time.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So working a full-time job, managing part-time, 2 kids.
At the time, I had 1 kid.
Okay.
At the time, I didn't know I was. At the time, I had 1 child, So at the time, he was 9, I think. He was 9. And then basically things just all came in at once for her. And it was she was like, you know what, you're going to have to leave your job now. It's time to get to work. So I left my job, literally did it for a couple of months, then found out I was pregnant. And I was like, oh my God, I've just left a 9-to-5 that we're going to things like maternity leave, all the things that you think about.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, what am I going to do? And I was so scared of telling her.
Yeah.
And then when I told her, she was over the moon. She's like, we'll make it work. And I was thinking, how can I manage you and travel with a baby? And then a couple of days later, she found out she was pregnant.
Wow.
So it just worked so well.
my God.
Yeah.
Well, that's so cute. You was pregnant at the same time.
Oh, we never expected it because she she wasn't exactly ready.
Yeah.
And I wasn't exactly ready. So when we both said to our mum, we literally all went round to my mum's house. My older sister was there and we got something to tell you. And then we were like, Sarah's pregnant. And then I was like, and Leigh-Anne's pregnant.
At the same time.
I was like, oh my God, help me.
And then our older sister was like, Sarah, I think you're going to have twins.
Oh my God.
Imagine. But then Leigh-Anne had twins.
Yeah.
And literally there's no twins in our family.
Yeah.
So it was just so random.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So now there's like a little tribe of babies
Yep.
running around together.
Yep. 7 grandchildren.
Oh my God.
Yeah. 7.
Yeah. What was that like then, I guess, you both being pregnant at the same time and that working relationship?
It was really
the
good.
hormones
It was,
must have been flying, innit?
do you know what? I think it worked because it was like I knew when she had to stop because I needed to stop. And at the time things weren't as intense because obviously it was COVID as well. Like COVID was still like kind of going around, so we weren't really able to like do a lot of the things we should have been doing, like music wise or so it wasn't as bad as it could have been. Like I feel like if COVID wasn't there and we both were doing what we're doing now pregnant, I think we would just we would have come into problems. But it was quite chilled because of COVID. There was certain restrictions and it was like a lot of things were on Zoom.
Yes.
So, we were able to make it work.
I was going to say the nature of your job, a lot of it must be online.
Yeah.
So does that help you manage with the childcare and working because you can do it remotely?
To some extent.
Yeah.
To some extent, a lot of it is online, but now my son's at an age where he needs constant interaction.
Right.
And I never forget, we went on a trip to America, and before then I could do Zoom calls all day and it was fine. Like I could entertain him and do the Zoom calls.
Yeah.
I came home from that America trip, I did one Zoom call and it was like, oh my God, I need to get him into childcare.
Yeah.
And I just didn't even think about it. I thought I can do this job. I'll just ask my mum-in-law to watch him when I need her to because she was like really helpful. And then it just changed, like overnight, like just changed. And it was like, I had to put him in childcare.
Yeah.
And like now, like I sometimes do calls, but I'm often on mute. Because it's just like, he doesn't know
He's
when to be
like,
quiet.
once it grabs. That sounds like my son.
Yeah, he doesn't know when to be quiet. And then it's like, people don't understand that like, he doesn't get, he can't ask me. If he needs something, he wants it there and then. And he's at the age where if he wants you to read a book, it's read the book now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm off camera as well.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm just going to be like, sorry, like, no, it's just, always off camera.
I find that so hard. Like, that's the reason my son had to go into childcare because I was like, I can't, physically, I'm getting so stressed.
Yeah.
And then I'm taking out on you.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah, that's
deserve
true.
that.
Yeah.
You deserve my attention.
yeah.
Also, I need to make my money. Do you know what I mean? It's so
and
hard.
another thing that I have to deal with as well is my son plays football, my older son.
Okay.
So 3 nights a week we're at football training.
Oh my-
and
I've heard football.
honestly,
3 nights a week.
3 nights a week. And sometimes I take my little one, but there's times when he has to come, times when I leave him with my mum-in-law or his dad. But there was one time about 2 weeks ago, I remember I had back-to-back Zooms from like 4 p.m. till 7 p.m. I was at football practice and then I had my little one with me. Literally, it was raining. He didn't want to sit in the car. I couldn't communicate with anyone on this Zoom calls. I literally got home and I was like, I can't do this. This is just madness. He was like soaking wet because he was jumping in puddles, running riot. Because I had to just let him just run off just so
Because
I
you're
could
on
get
the
this
Zoom.
Zoom call
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
Like, and it was such an important like back-to-back log of calls. It was just so hard. And I remember just thinking, how am I doing this? Like, this is a lot.
So it sounds like you didn't have much maternity leave.
No. I literally I think we had like 6 months.
Okay.
We both went back to work together because our baby's literally 3 days apart.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So we literally had like 6 months off.
Yeah.
Whereas when I had Caleb, my older son, I had like a whole year.
Yeah.
You know?
So how would you say you juggle everything now? Would you say like your childcare kind of involves depending on in-laws, your mum or nursery?
So I have a lot of help around me.
Yeah.
So my older son, he's at the age now where he can get home from school by himself.
Yeah.
That helps
I can't wait for that age.
I know, I'm counting
Bring me
down.
to the age.
That helps massively. So he's not too much of, I don't have to worry too much about his childcare. Also, he's okay to be on his own for like an hour or so.
Yeah.
So it's easier. Whereas the little one, I have lots of help. Like his dad's amazing. He really helps me. his mum as well, like my mum-in-law, she's amazing. My family, not so much because they live out of London.
Right.
So it's like me having to, they would have him, but it's me driving out of London to drop him, then coming back to London, then coming.
Too much.
Yeah. So my support network is one of my friends lives around the corner who, again, like she's amazing. And then my son's dad and then his mum. That's my support network. Yeah. And then his childminder as well. And she's super flexible because sometimes it's like, this shoot's gone over, I'm going to be late, do you mind like watching him? She's so good.
That's nice.
So yeah.
And what about like in instances when you go, I guess like if there's like a tour or something and you're out of the country or something of that nature, like, how do you work around that?
So far, I've only had to travel once without him. Okay. The first time we travelled with all the kids. So we went away for 3 weeks to America and we took the kids with us.
What was that like?
So I took my mum-in-law and then my sister took a nanny. Yeah. And then after that, Leigh-Anne will go on her own and there's a manager that works in the LA office.
Okay.
So like that helps massively.
Yeah.
But there's been times where I've had to travel, but it's only been like for a weekend or so it's not too bad.
Yeah.
But the long haul stuff, I'm gonna have to work that out. I think I'm gonna work that out when it comes to it. Like I have to, because obviously she won't be ready to tour for a while yet. So we've got some time for the babies to all grow up. But the good thing about it, she's in the same position as me. So it's like if she can't leave them, I know I can't leave Seven, so we're all just going to have to come together.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, it works out. Yeah.
What would you say to, because we was talking about this like ahead of recording, I feel like within motherhood, there's a lot of stigmas or like judgment around from like stay-at-home mums towards working mums and working mums towards stay-at-home mums. Like they each think like, oh, you're terrible for leaving your kids or, oh my God, how could you stay at home all day? Go do something, get a life. Like, what's your opinions on it?
I just think whatever works for you. And I feel like some mums, like, they struggle or have this idea of they struggle with the idea of leaving their little ones. Whereas some mums mentally need to get out the house.
Oh, that was me.
Yeah. I think
we have some of those mums.
That's what I mean. And I feel like, especially if you've got more than one child, the first time round, it's harder to leave them. So you don't really prepare yourself to leave them. Whereas with the second time round, it's like, I know I've got to do it. I might as well do it now. And I found like when I had Caleb, I had a year off and I wasn't in any rush to go back to work. When I had Seven, it was like, okay, I can go back. I wasn't like scared of going back. I was actually looking forward to it. I wanted to get cracking. Like, and obviously now things are so expensive. So if you can be a stay-at-home mum and make it work, good for you. If I can do that, I would do it. But you know, if you got to do what you got to do.
For sure.
So with the age gap between your two, because obviously they have a big age gap, what would you say is like the biggest challenge for you?
Yeah, because someone's trying to drag me back to the I'm not going. My son's 2 and I'm like, thank God, let's keep growing.
I think for me, it worked because I had help. Like my son was so good. Like he knows if I need a break, whereas Seven's dad wasn't like able to see that. So like sometimes he'd be like, Mum, sit down, I'll help you. Whereas I feel like Seven's dad would be a bit like, she's all right, she's strong. Do you know what I mean? So Caleb was like my protector. Like he's always been like that. And also he looks out for his little brother. But I think the one challenge is like just identifying their needs because they both have different needs. And it's like trying to balance, how do I explain to Caleb that, you know, certain things that I have to do for Seven is like things that I've already done for him. So like I feel like Caleb asks questions sometimes like Seven gets all my attention because he's at an age where he doesn't really need the love and the attention. I think because he's older, he sees how much time you have to put into like a 19-month-old child. So I think that's the difficulty.
Because even with my daughter River, she's 5 and she's already like, Rio gets away with this. Rio. And it's like, because he's a baby and I can't tell him otherwise. He doesn't know.
Exactly. And it's like how, like trying to break that down to him. Like even little things like, you know, if Seven needs a new pair of trainers because his like shoes, like, you know, they grow out of shoes so fast.
That's true.
Caleb's got loads of shoes. he doesn't need a new pair of trainers. But it's like explaining to him why Seven needed them, because his feet are growing and your trainers cost about £100 and you've got some ready in the box that you don't actually wear. So no, you're not having a new pair. Like things like that.
Yeah.
Practical.
Yeah.
Wow. So I guess like in the future, because obviously, you know, now that you are essentially managing Leigh-Anne, and I guess once things pick up and she starts going on tour and stuff like that, do you have any future plans of like having more kids? Do you think about that? Or
No, I don't think I'm having any more. I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm done. And also like I kind of just want to see where this career goes. I feel like I'm starting a whole new career.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, right. Because your career prior to this
It was nothing to do with music, nothing to do with managing at all. So I'm feeling like I'm on this journey of like, where can this go? You know, what's my next steps in this career, as opposed to like stopping again and having more children. And it's so expensive.
Yeah.
So expensive. And then the age gap again, like say if I get really comfortable in this job and then it's like another 10-year age gap, like no.
I feel like in this day and
Yeah.
age you're getting more of a hybrid now of working from home, having less childcare, your child's in the background, so you're kind of half a stay-at-home mum but working mum at the same time, which can, I because for me I work from home part-time but 100% of the time. So sometimes there might be a time he goes into nursery late or he's not well, but I refuse to be off work because I might lose pay, for example. Then I find that highly stressful.
Yeah.
So whereas if I was in the office, if he's sick, I'd be off.
Yeah.
I wouldn't ever do the mix kind of thing. So I feel like it's changing now, especially because of cost of living and stuff.
And how have you found the industry's received you, because you're new to it, being like a working mum? Because I know that sometimes, like for example, people, oh yeah, she's late, yeah, because probably the kids. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you get any of that kind of stigmas?
Not really, but not many women in the music industry have children. That's
Or
one
even
thing I've
talk about
learned.
it. Like I find out way later that like, oh, you're a mum as well.
Yeah,
What?
because even Leigh-Anne being a mum,
Yeah.
people kind of wrote her off.
Yeah.
Some people were like, oh, you know, well, because she's now got kids, she might not want to put, like, she might not be able to, you know, put as much work into being a pop star anymore.
Yeah.
But nowadays, women don't sit around and just wait for a man to pay for everything. Like, we want to go out and make our own money.
Oh, 100%.
So, you know, we have the right to have our own careers. Because of the intensity of the job, it's like, how do you have a family and then manage an artist? Like, it is a lot. Because she's my sister, she understands and she has she sympathises with what my priorities are. Whereas another artist might not be so understanding.
I think that's where people like Rihanna and that really help.
Yeah.
It kind of inspires those that want to have that kind of career and still have a family as well.
Yeah.
Especially because Rihanna has not slowed down. I mean, she did the NFL, like, with her belly.
Number one, she's super.
Yeah.
But I guess she's got money, isn't it? So she could just get a nanny as and where she wants.
Do you think that plays into it? Like, if you've got the finances to, like, have the nanny, have the night nurse, have the, like, living care, do you think that makes a big difference?
Yeah. Because even when I, like, go home, like, I think, God, this job needs to have a driver. It needs to have a nanny. It needs to have a housekeeper. Because there's no time for me to do these jobs. Like, so when you have that type of help, like, it does allow you to think, it's okay to have another child. I've got all this, you know, there's certain things that we have to think about doing that they don't have to think about doing.
100%.
It's like one less thing off their list of things to do when we've all got to make all those things happen still. So
how do you fit all those things in? So you mentioned like I forgot, obviously you've got the house maintenance as well and your child and your thriving career. So how do you in your mind juggle those things like practically?
Oh, my house is a mess most of the time. It really is.
That's real.
It's a challenge for me.
I had to clean up for a bit, but it got too expensive. But every other week I had to clean up because I was like, the house is disgusting. I actually physically can't do it.
It's hard. And I feel like there's this, like, even on Zoom, sometimes I sit on Zoom and I look and I think, oh crap, let me go and sort the background out. And even like, I think before I used to manage Leigh-Anne, like sometimes I'd do like a little bit of influence in here and there. And like, I try and take photos of like, you know how people like get sent a top or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
I'd be like, oh, I can't do this. This is too long for me. Like sorting out the background, all this stuff. I've got kid stuff everywhere. Like, it's not happening.
That's like real. It's like whatever.
Yeah. So I feel like I don't know. I don't actually know how I manage it all because I don't actually manage my personal stuff very well because it's a bit chaotic. But I feel like the kids just know it's like that, so we just get on with it.
But you're doing it. So.
You're doing it.
Yeah,
you're doing it.
Yeah, we've got to do what we've got to do.
And they don't notice the dirt. That's what I've noticed.
Yeah.
Like, the kids will happily still roll on the floor when I haven't mopped.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Now Caden's old enough to help as well. So I'd be like, that's one less thing for me to do.
helps,
Your room, you can do yourself.
Yeah.
And he's quite good at it. So yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Sounds like you got a good young prince there.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Just on the two boys, because I've got a girl and a boy, and I've found this boy. I mean, I put it on my Instagram the other day. Like, I had to go to the gym because the way he pushed me, it was like I shut the door of the car, and all the anger went into slamming the car door. But like two boys, like how is that? That's a lot of testosterone in the house.
Yeah. I think my oldest is very calm though.
Okay.
He's so calm. Yeah. My youngest isn't as calm.
Yeah.
So I am wondering what his personality is. Like now he's getting older. Like I'm seeing more and more of his personality. And even my oldest son's like, Mum, he's a lot.
He's a lot.
Like, they are. And I think now it's like, I feel like Caleb was just like kids his age and like his age group, they're a lot more chilled.
Yeah.
Like if Seven wants something, he wants it now.
Yeah.
Like it's intense. But I love boys.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm definitely a boy mum. Definitely.
So you're not going to try for a girl?
Nope.
You're happy with your two boys?
Knowing me, I'd have another boy.
Yeah,
I know I'd just have boys.
Family of boys.
Yeah.
Because I got one boy and they are a lot. Not going to lie.
Yeah.
It's aggressive.
I wasn't ready. My daughter set me up. She made me think this parenting thing was easy. She made me think it was calm. She's such a new age. She sounds like your oldest, Caleb. Like she's so calm, helpful, and then Rhea's just like...
But then I think when they get older, they do like chill out.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Down.
And also boys look after their mums, they say.
Okay.
So that's what I'm hoping for. I hope Caleb would really look after me when he's older.
Yeah.
Like I would love to have that relationship where I'm like, I know I can call on him for anything.
Oh, that's nice.
So yeah.
Okay, well, before we let you go, we have a little gift for you, a little badass
Ah.
gift, just to say thank you for obviously using your time today and coming along. But yeah,
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Oh.
And then we got
Thank
some
you.
mums from season 1 and 2 to send in questions. So you've got to pick between 1, 2, 3, or 5.
3.
Oh, I wanted someone to answer this one. So this is from E Minor. She's from season 1, episode 8. We talked about body changes. She has one son, and she said, from one mother to another, I need to know, how do I approach the sex talk?
I'm such a prude. I hate talking about things like that.
Oh, gosh.
Okay. I had to have a sex talk with my child because when I fell pregnant, he kept saying, but Mum, how do you get pregnant? And I told him that it was for an injection for years.
How old was he?
He was like 8 at the time.
8, okay.
And I kept saying it's an injection. So when he found out I was pregnant, he kept saying, so you had this injection? And I was like, yeah. And then I feel like he knew at that point. Yeah. He knew at that point what it was.
Yeah.
So, but he wanted me to tell him. And then he said to me, Mum, no, seriously, how do you have children? Like, how do you get pregnant? And then he said, I'm going to look on Google. And that made me panic because I felt like if he looks on Google, he could see anything. And then I can't manage what he's seen. Yeah. So I had to sit him down and I looked at YouTube and I said, how do you tell your child what sex is? And there was this video and it was like a cartoon and it just explained everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like kids friendly.
Yeah.
You gotta send me the link.
Yeah.
For
And it explained everything. But it was in detail as to how it happens, but it said it in a way where, and his face was like, what? But it had to be done because he would have found it somewhere else, and then I wanted to be So there is a link on YouTube that does it for you.
Yeah, that's good for me. I don't want to have that chat.
So was there any other talks after that, or was it just?
No, but then I think now he's going to secondary school next year, so now I'm going to have the talk with him again about girls and all them things. That was like how it happens,
right?
And obviously now the conversation has to get a bit more detail about things he's got to watch out for and all that. I don't know how I'm doing that yet. I think I might have to look on YouTube again.
Yeah.
And get some tips.
Part 2 or something.
Yeah. sure there's probably someone that's already done this.
Yes, yeah.
And like maybe a podcast or something that's going to give me some advice.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's good that if you open that dialogue anyway, it's good.
Yeah.
He'll feel comfortable to talk to you about it if he's got any questions.
Exactly. And there's so much out there as well.
Yeah,
and like we don't know how the information can be taken in. So I feel like it's important for us as mums to manage that and, you know.
Yeah. It's good that he trusts you enough to come to you with a question rather than go to his friends as well.
I feel like he knew. He already knew, I think, and he just wanted me to say it.
Yeah.
Because he kept saying, but Mum, no, but seriously, like, how'd you get pregnant? How'd you get pregnant? And he knew it wasn't an injection. he just wanted me to tell him.
Smart boy.
Wow.
Too smart.
Oh, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Let everyone know where they can find you.
So I'm on Instagram. You can find me at Sairah with an I, so it's Sairah Pinnock. Pinnock.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
No, thank you for having me.
Thanks for listening. Make sure to follow and subscribe at Badass Mums.
Daddy Baga!